weekend. They did not think Sinners would still be sticking around doing the numbers that it's doing, right? And all the outrage over the IMAX 70 millimeter locations lost to Thunderbolts, all of that was unexpected by Warner Brothers, by Disney, by everyone. Anyone pretending they thought that Sinners would be doing what it's doing right now is a liar. 100%. Because it wasn't expected by anyone. So don't pretend it was. So when you look at this, it was affected by the holdover value of Sinners. That's one aspect that we need to talk about here in addition to Marvel fatigue. Let's get into the total IMAX. I think that's really interesting. I go down here and we go to the IMAX information on Thunderbolts. And you can see, as I scroll through all of the countries, 18.1 million globally in IMAX. In North America, IMAX screens had 8.6 million. Now, this is what's important. It's the highest domestic indexing Marvel title for IMAX since 2016's Doctor Strange. So what that says is IMAX continues to lead the way. People want to see movies in IMAX, and they're not seeing them in laser or any of the regular screens. PLF is the way to go. I saw this in Prime. I love Prime. Dolby is also highly recommended by me. In fact, you actually get a recliner in there versus IMAX with the rocker. So really, any kind of PLF on a major film, a tentpole, a big event film is the way to go, as you're seeing here. Let's get into the country by country because domestic is just straight up, as you know, the 76 million. Across Latin America, Thunderbolts opened number one in every market, second highest opening of 2025, behind Minecraft, obviously. Brazil, Mexico, Central America, Chile, and Paraguay. So you get all of this here in Brazil and Mexico. The opening was above Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Captain America, Brave New World, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and Eternal. So better in some Latin American countries. But overall, again, looking at the demos here, male 64%, female 36%. Younger audience, and that's what they wanted. Right? You look at all of the younger, you're talking about 30 plus 21, 51 plus 7, 58 plus 3, 61% is under the age of 34. How about that live math here, everybody? So that is exactly what they kind of wanted here, right? They wanted to have that younger demo come in and support this film, and that's exactly what happened here with Thunderbolts. But again, when you are essentially tying Shang-Chi and matching Eternals, this is not the opening that Marvel wanted. You can try to spin it however you want. I'm here to tell you it's not. So THR can say it's solid. Of course it's not a bomb. I didn't say that. Did I say that once today? Hell no. But here's the good news. Going forward, next weekend, nothing. Nothing major opening next weekend. So you'll have Sinners still kicking around. It will start to drop because eventually, like everything, everyone's seen it that needs to see it more than once, and then it'll start to fall. Thunderbolts has no excuse not to put up a better than minus 50% hold, minus 45, minus 40. It really has no excuse. Do I think it will? No, I think it'll drop. Because these Marvel films, no matter how you cut them, no matter how you want to pretend otherwise, they are heavily front-loaded. So you're going to see a drop next weekend regardless of that cinema score, which is better than Brave New World, better than Eternals, I think lower than Shang-Chi, but still strong enough to put up a hold that should be significantly lower than it would be had major competition stepped into the marketplace next weekend, but it's not. So we'll see what happens on Thunderbolt's $180 million budget. I was reading every time, my God, I'm telling you guys, there's so many low IQ people that hang out on X. X has either really smart people or really, really dumb people, okay? And whenever I read someone in a comment when they say the budget's 180, this guy was like, well, it'll be profitable in like a week. Do you understand, you low IQ idiot? Sorry, guys, I got to do it because when I see dumb people, I do not have any tolerance for stupid people. None. I have none. Zero. Sorry. Oh, you're so mean. Too bad. Be smarter. 180 million times 2 is 360. plus another half, typically 2.5. Some people say 3. Let's call it 2.5. I think that's fair. 2.5. Okay. So 2.5 will put us, oh God, I just did the math of the percentages. Let's see if we can do this. 180, 360, and then 90 would be, don't help me, everybody, 430? Is that right? Something like that. So when you look at this being profitable, we got a while, and look at Captain America, barely over 400 million. I don't think Thunderbolts can get there, so it'll lose money. I mean, Marvel movies never lost money. So now that's what's happening. Because comic book movies, as you knew them, are dead. No, don't come back to me next year when Avengers does pretty solid, because it's Avengers, and we want to see Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, and blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. I'm saying right now, you know I'm right. People do not care about comic movies like they did back pre-Endgame and immediately post-Endgame. It's a new world. They want to watch Sinners. I want to watch something new and original. Even though I don't love Sinners by any stretch, it still is original enough, even though a lot of people think it's very derivative of other films. And I would agree. But it's still not another comic book movie. No matter how you slice and dice it, it's just still a comic book movie. Okay, let's go to Warner Brothers and check out Sinners, because it was down, as I said, 28%, 33 million on the weekend. The Cume now stateside, $179.7 million. Wow. I mean, think about that. Opening in the high 40s, and now we're at 180. The multiple on this is insane. Okay, we're at a 4x multiple already. That is almost unheard of, 4x multiple. And we're going higher. Now, here's where the problem comes in. Well, I mean, not a real problem, but this is where if this film had a similar international haul to the domestic take, then we would end up at nearly 400 million now, 360, but it's at 57 million. This film is not playing nearly as well overseas, essentially 1/3. Okay, so it's a 3 domestic to 1 international. You really want to see the 1-to-1. Sometimes it's a 1-to-2 international. International should usually be bigger than domestic on these bigger films. Now, Sinners is not a 4-quad tentpole, but still, I'd want to see it closer to a 2-1 versus 3-1. The worldwide, though, 236.7. We're going to get a Sinners 2 if he wants to make it. I mean, clearly. Let's just hope it's better film. Top international markets, UK is still number 1 at 13.8, France 6.7, Australia 4.3, Mexico 3.4, on and on. Let's go to Minecraft. It was film number 3 this weekend. They had those party screenings where you were encouraged to throw popcorn all over the joint when Chicken Jockey showed up. And it ended up with 13.7 million, down 40%. Total on this is going to cross 400 million tomorrow. It could even do it today if these numbers get bumped in the actual. But 398.2, internationals at 475.2. See, so look, we just showed this. Let's go back quickly to Sinners. Look at the Sinners, 179.7 to 57. Go down here, 398.2 to 475. This is perfect. Let me just zoom in here. This is what you want your numbers to look like for domestic versus international. International slightly higher, but at least equal plus on the international. But that's not what's happening with Sinners. You see why we're better? You guys, movie math is like so 2015. We destroy, don't even make me say her name. Oh, stop. She's a woman. I don't care. I don't value people on the sex, on their race. Why would you do that? That's the dumbest shit ever. She's not good. He or she. If she was a he, I would say the exact same thing here today. But we're at 873.4 million. Here's someone in the comments going, "Oh, you're talking about Grace again. Can't you just leave her alone? I'm a stan." Too bad. My channel, I'll do what I want. Accountant was down 61%. Let's talk about that as I pull up the top 10. Let me tell you, here's what's happening with The Accountant. When you look at a film that is down 61% weekend to weekend, and it did okay on the cinema score, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was in the A's, if not a B+. It was solid, okay? Here's the situation. They know, everyone knows, this is an Amazon film, Amazon MGM. So, you know it's going to be on Prime in the next few weeks. Why do you see minus 61? That's why. Because we don't have windows anymore. And the audience is trained now. You get this at home. Why am I going to bother? So we need to, again, for the 100,000th time here on MMT, we started this well over a year ago. Windows, way before Sean Baker, way before Adam Aaron started whining about them. I was telling him to get in there and get them in place. We need 60-day theatrical windows. I was doing 45, but now I'm angry again. I'm going to 60, okay? I was being generous. They didn't take the offer. We're at 60. I'm not going to get 90. It's not going to happen right now, but that's going to change this minus 61. Until Dawn was minus 53. That movie is just so forgettable. In fact, the second I walked out, I was like, what? Until Dawn, another Sony forgettable horror film, even though it's profitable. We're over $30 million worldwide on that film. Let's do the top 10, and we will skedaddle on this Sunday back tonight to talk about Thunderbolts and where the MCU goes from here. Obviously, we know Fantastic Four, but let's talk about what they need to do. There's the Kevin Feige article going around saying that he is kind of checked out and people aren't that excited to work at Marvel. I don't blame them. I mean, we all are done with comic book movies. I feel sorry for the Marvel channels. That's all they talk about. Did you see this Easter egg? Can you imagine being that person? Look at the trailer. There's an Easter egg of this one character from episode 48 of, oh, shit. How about you do, instead of this shit, why don't you go live an actual life? I think that's a better thing to do than to you go, look in the back, there's that guy from issue number 161. Holy shit. I watch that stuff and I go, my God, stop being a stan and get out and do something in the real fucking world. Okay? Superhero shit's fine. Become your own superhero. Don't fucking, bow down to the shrine of comic book nerdom. It's just sad. It's fucking sad. Sorry, guys. I know I'm doing a box office stream. I will hammer that all day. When I see people that live fantasy world versus real world, at least try to get a 1-to-1, right? Let your fantasy world sort of match your real world. Don't have it be all in your head fantasy bullshit. Sorry, guys. If I'm offending someone and you want to leave, hit the door. I don't fucking care. I'm tired of this shit. I can't stand that stuff. I am a real world, absolute, complete and utter believer in you must get out there and create your own stuff, not live in the fantasy world of someone else's creation. That just came out of nowhere, didn't it? Here we go. Your top 10 Thunderbolts. Number 1 at 76 million. Sinners is number 2 at 33, down 28. Minecraft, 13.7, again, almost 400 million. We'll get there tomorrow for that film. Accountant 2, down 61% at 9.5 million. Until Dawn, as I mentioned, number 5, down 53%. The Amateur is now at $36.9 million stateside. Let me get the total cash on that. I got to go back to the Disney email. Here it is. Total with the worldwide is 87.7, which is probably going to get closer. It's not going to break even. That movie was not cheap, but still, it's at least closer. Let's continue along the line here. King of Kings has 57.6 million. How about King of Kings, the faith-based animated film, at 57.6 million here in the States? Warfare, 24 million, one of my favorite films of the year, one of the best films of the year, is number 8. Number 9 was Hit the Third Case. I'm not sure what that is. I know. It's a world film. I don't get to everything. Sorry, guys, I can't. The Surfer. Oh, guys, I hope you're ready to talk about The Surfer tonight. That movie sucks ass. And guess what? This is the best. I can't wait for tonight. Guys, tonight's going to be amazing because you know how I drag Blumhouse all the time? I say Jason Blum has no taste and he's completely ruined so many franchises. Guess who said that The Surfer is a great film? I'll get the tweet up. Jason Blum said that is a great film. This explains everything that we get from Jason. If he thinks that The Surfer is a great film, this is why he thought that Five Nights at Freddy was an outstanding film. That's why he thought Night Swim was great. This is why he thought that Imaginary was stellar, because he has no taste. Guys, this is a bad film. Surfer, we are going to get into here tonight. Be ready for that. I'll read your comments afterwards. I'm off to the beach. Not beautiful weather, but I'm still getting out of the house. That's what you should do too. Get out, build a real life. I'll see you back here tonight for the Sunday evening spectacular. Peace out. Enjoy your Sunday.